Eugene Kuzbay. KVAL News at noon starts now.
Well, first at noon, this right here, a live look outside at a demonstration happening right now in downtown Eugene. Protesters decrying the action taken against a woman in Minneapolis, Minnesota that led to her death at the hands of an ICE agent. Thank you for joining us here for KVAL News at noon. I'm John Mayer.
And I'm Brianna Chavez. Demonstrators in downtown Eugene protesting the killing of a Minnesota protester by an ICE agent just yesterday. And that's where we find our very own Kennedy right now, who's live out there. Kennedy, what can you tell us as far as how it's going so far?
Yeah, Bree, good afternoon to you. Like you said, I'm downtown now. This protest started at the Lane County Courthouse, and then protesters have made their way down to the federal building. I spoke with one woman who told me she's been down here for 45 minutes. Just take a look at how things are going. There's a fairly large crowd out here, and one woman told me she's simply standing in solidarity. How long this protest will be, who knows, but I do know that everyone out here is here for a cause. I've spoken with multiple people today. You guys will have a listen later. Yes, and so as stated before, many people are out. I'm going to step out of the way just so you guys can see how large this crowd is. There have been multiple cars honking along the way. As stated before, they started at the Lane County Courthouse and walked their way to the federal building. It seems like now the protesters are on the move again, walking to the other side of the federal building. Multiple signs everywhere that read a variety of different things. And I'll have you guys updated on where this protest is going. Right now, it seems like we're going to walk around to the other side of the federal building. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Kennedy. Well, protesters clashed with federal officials outside of an immigration building in Minneapolis earlier this morning. Tensions remain high following that fatal shooting of a woman by an immigration officer during a crackdown just yesterday. You can see several hundred people were out there gathered at the Whipple Federal Building. That's where ICE operates out of. At least 3 people have reportedly been arrested following this morning's protest. Federal agents deploying chemical irritants into the crowd. Protesters insisting that fatal shooting an unjustified murder, while ICE operations encouraged violence.
This is not America. This is not how we grew up. This is not the Constitution. This is not democracy.
I think people are ready to stand up. I've never been to this spot to protest, but I needed to be here. You know, we need to stand together, and everybody's ready to stand together.
Well, federal officials maintain the shooting was justified, arguing the woman weaponized her vehicle trying to run over ICE officers. There has been debate over her intentions as witness video of that incident circulating online.
Meanwhile, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says the ICE agent who shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis yesterday hospitalized, but has since been treated and released. She says he acted according to his training, describing him as an, quote, experienced officer who served a number of years.
We have expected all the policies and procedures of review will be exactly that he acted appropriately to protect his life and the life of his colleagues and fellow law enforcement officers that were there and people that were surrounding.
Noem didn't get into further specifics about the officer, who appeared to be physically fine in videos immediately after that shooting. She accuses protesters of impeding ICE operations and assaulting officers prior to the incident. Witnesses on the ground disagree with her characterization. Noem also adding she's not opposed to sending more ICE officers to the city to keep people safe. This despite local officials calling for ICE agents to leave, arguing they're creating chaos and violence. Meanwhile, congressional Democrats railing against Noem and the Department of Homeland Security.
The killing of Renee Good was an abomination, a disgrace. And blood is clearly on the hands of those individuals within the administration who've been pushing an extreme policy under the so-called leadership of Kristi Noem, who's a stone-cold liar. There's no evidence at all that this was a justified shooting.
Renee Nicole Good leaves behind 3 children.